Hello, I'm Brian Potts. I'm a seminary student at Wilfrid Laurier University. Recently, I was thinking about the story of the wise men and wondering how the story changes if they weren't quite so sure of the sign they read in the stars. You know, coming from a place of doubt, do they still gather up the resources and make the trip to Jerusalem, a trip that's going to take several months? If they do decide to go, what kind of dialogue do you have with your friends and your traveling companions when you're wondering, is this really what we're supposed to do? Are we heading in the right direction? Do you question yourself? And, the other guys, they seem so sure of themselves, and what's wrong with me that I'm not? Recently, back in April, I had a professor at the university come to me and suggest that I could go through the Masters of Divinity program at Laurier University. At that moment, I could have said, hey, the door is wide open for me. This is a path for me to go down. That wasn't what it felt like for me. I had fear, I had doubt. I wondered, can I go back to school full time at my age? Am I good enough to do this? What do I have to say that people are going to listen to? These moments of fear and doubt, sometimes they can shine brighter than any star that's meant to guide us down our path. The other day I was reading a book by Henry Nouwen. In his book, The Wounded Healer, he says, everywhere we see restless and nervous people, unable to concentrate and often suffering from a growing sense of depression. They know that what is shouldn't be the way it is, but they see no workable alternative. When I heard that quote, it registered with me. I could relate to that. I find it sad that we don't see a workable alternative. My thoughts are, maybe there is one. I think we need to take the time and be still, be quiet, and listen to, our hearts, the voice of Christ, or that's speaking to us within inside. And taking that time, then we can get up and move forward. This will seem strange at first. In times of fear and anxiety, it seems unnatural to stop and slow down and be quiet when everything in our body is telling us to do something different. I had a friend of mine that spent some time in Kenya working in these villages, and there was a jungle that separated these two villages, and the foliage was so thick and so dense that even in the broad daylight, the path between these villages was in complete darkness. With a light, you could see the next step in front of you, and that was it. The first few times my friend would make this journey, he would be so afraid and feel so uncomfortable walking this path. But with practice and repetition, by the time he was leaving and finished his time there, he was able to walk that path with confidence and not lose a step, but having some surety and some confidence that his next step was good. I think that's the way it's going to be for us if we practice and make it a routine to be still and be quiet and to listen, that we'll find ourselves having more confidence in that next step and a better understanding and faith that we can move forward down our path. Christ, a loving God that has been there and will help us and will show us our path, isn't going to abandon us. He's not going to let us go. And just taking that time to be quiet and listen to the voice inside of our hearts and move forward with faith and the confidence that we're doing the right thing. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have doubt. But it's not okay to let that stop us from making our journey and following our path.